No. No, get down. Ah.
The primary explosive used was hexogen, but there was also traces of Semtex H from a batch that was under the control of the old KGB, now the FSB. And the only eyewitness in this case was killed in FSB custody. Absolutely no one outside the FSB knew he was there.
I see. What else?
The man that tried to kill Detective Ostrov and myself used an FSB tracking device, and my friend who ran the test on the explosives called a friend in the government to confirm what he found. He was killed the next morning.
You realize the seriousness of what you're alleging, Jason?
I do.
Why would the FSB want to steal a bioweapon?
Power. I'd say it was an attempt to make it look like a terrorist attack. An outbreak timed to coincide with the presidential election.
To what end?
There's only one candidate with an anti-terror campaign.
Komarov.
Former Politburo member, top echelon in the old KGB. He must have FSB ties.
Jason, I appreciate your work out there, really I do. And I know this is not a CIA operation, but really, this is all still very much conjecture. Frankly, I am skeptical.
Why? Because the U.S. government supports his candidacy?
The man has no comprehensible reason to get involved in a plot in order to steal bioweapons from himself. Look, Jason, we all know you have a personal axe to grind with Komarov.
It's not about that.
Jason, you focus on the FSB, and we'll try and confirm if the outbreak in Dagestan was indeed Reston 81, but don't allow yourself to jump to conclusions. The Cold War's over. Komarov isn't necessarily your enemy anymore.
What does he mean by that?
Nothing.
Tell me.
For 9 years, I worked as a CIA operative in Moscow because I had a gift. I had the ability to convince men and women to betray their governments. I ran 5 double agents in Russia alone. Then, when the CIA's list of Russian informants was compromised, the KGB murdered them all. And Komarov was the district supervisor, and he gave the orders. The last one to be killed was Sergei Akopov, Victor's brother.
Is that how you know about my father? Was he one of yours?
No, I knew of him, but he wasn't mine.
What did you know?
That he was a man of principle. That he was,
Put his work before his family. And you? And you? What about your family?
Natasha died last year. Cancer. Elena is now 18, and I still have not had the courage to talk to her.
Odinsevo is up and running.
Any word from your agent? What is her name?
Sonia Ostrova. She hasn't gone home. No contact with her family.
I see.
She's also made no attempt to contact anyone at FSB or Internal Affairs.
Not yet. And what about Jason Monk?
We're looking. He's probably moving around using safe houses. We did pick up some transmissions that indicate he may be using a secure satellite link to the west. We're attempting to intercept them, but they're very brief. Difficult to pinpoint.
Use every resource you have. Find him.
And it could be a conspiracy. Several FSB officers in on it together.
Why?
Money. You steal a lethal weapon, you can extort nearly anything.
No, nobody's made any demands. And besides, if we're on the inside, there'd be too many moles. Somebody would know.
If you're in the FSB, you can manipulate the investigation.
No, not on this one. Grishin is on the top. It goes right through him.
Who was the first investigator on the scene?
Grishin.
But that does not make sense. The nearest police station was 5 minutes away.
And it would have taken him half an hour to get there from home.
He knew about it in advance. I think it's time to pay Mr. Grishin a visit.
Ребята, придите сюда. Скорее, работать надо. Я иду.
Что хочешь, брат? Девушки там. Что хочешь, брат? Девушки там. Ты работу.
Посуд, да? Ну хорошо. Какие братья?
Я очень голодный. Икра, рыбка, девушки, как классно.
Sonia! You got it?
Good. Are you all right?
I've been better.
Yes?
Jason, talk to me.
Yeah.
You're losing a lot of blood.
I think I got an artery.
I've got to get you help.
No, hospitals.
Jason! Jason!
Well, there's no major damage, but he's lost a lot of blood. He's strong. The next 24 hours will be crucial. Give him these.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. You know that no one must...
No, my friend, of course. And if there's anything else that I can do...
I'll let you know. It's hard to know who we can trust.
I understand. I was alive to see Stalin.
Victor?
Yeah.
Can you stay with Jason? I have to go out for a minute.
Of course.
Thank you.
Okay, I'll get May I help you?
Are you Elena?
Yeah?
My name's Sonia Ostrova. May I have a word with you?
About what?
About your father.
Hello. I'm Victor.
I'm Elena.
Hello. I'll get you something.
No, thanks. My mother said he died 10 years ago. I don't want to talk to him. He lied to my mother.
It was a long time ago, Elena.
And that makes everything he did all right?
If you want to close your heart to him, that's your decision. But he did come in parts to find you. Well, I'll leave you to decide.
Frederick. Anishka.
In Moscow, with only 2 days remaining, the presidential campaigns have reached a fever pitch. Last night, Igor Komarov addressed a rally of supporters in a stirring speech, hitting on all of his favorite themes.
And the light of truth will shine again in Russia. There will be no hiding place for terrorists.
Organizers of the rally estimated the turnout at over 50,000. Meanwhile, to solidify his base with rural voters, General Nikolaev took his campaign south to the farming regions east of Urupinsk. In other news, 17 more Muslim schoolchildren in the town of Shodroda had been diagnosed with the same hemorrhagic fever that already afflicted 12 others in this remote region. Health officials in Dagestan are puzzled as to the source of the outbreak, fueling rumors there may be links to terrorism.
Thanks. That's good. Thank you.
My mother's recipe.
You must miss her. I want you to know how sorry I am. I didn't even know she was sick. I just found out. Seems like she would have contacted me, but I never heard from her.
Why not?
She felt betrayed, and rightly so. I made promises. I didn't keep those promises. But what I need you to know is I never wanted to leave you.
Are you sure it was Jason Monk?
I'm positive.
Was he alone?
Sonia Ostrova was with him.
Did he find anything?
It's possible.
Tell me, Anatoly, what could they possibly find?
Personal files, I'm not sure yet. Everything is going according to plan. It's just one man and one mid-level agent. What harm could they possibly do to us?
How about this one?
Oh, delete that. Print that.
All this time, you never tried to contact me. Why?
Because you were this big. But for a long time, I did try. Her anger... And then I started to believe Natasha was right, that my entire life was a lie. And by then, I knew that you and your mother moved on.
When I was 7, I started asking questions. I wanted to know who you were, why you left. My mother told me the truth. You were an American spy who had lied to us. But I didn't stop wanting to see you. So when I was 9, she told me you had been killed. That there was no way I would ever see you again.
Elena, she was only trying to protect you.
No, she was lying. The same way you lied. No one ever asked me what I wanted.
What did you want?
My parents. Over everything else.
Jason, we found something.
No, there is nothing else I can do. The international authorities already know about the outbreak. It would be irresponsible of me not to mention the theft at your facility.
Sir, please, can this wait until after the election?
The international press is already starting to ask questions.
I'll take care of the press. That's what I do.
What about the investigation? Anything more about who might be responsible?
We have several leads, all pointing to terrorist groups, but nothing concrete.
This doesn't serve your legacy very well, does it, Mr. President?
I beg your pardon?
Well, your last press conference in office, and you have to confirm that terrorists have stolen a virus, contaminated thousands, and you have no idea who they are or what they want.
Are you suggesting an alternative?
Well, I have sent a team to the Caucasus. They've been working for years on vaccines, decontaminants, etc.
Will they wipe out this virus?
They have not been field tested. But give them a few more days. Think of the lives that might be saved.
Yes. Not to mention the political gains for the men behind their success.
Mr. President, we are talking about the lives of Russian citizens. I would not use a tragedy like this for mere political gain.
Together we will triumph, and Russia will find her rightful place of glory as the greatest nation on the face of the earth today. Thank you.
Here's something. Some kind of population figure, statistics.
Could be some sort of coordinates, longitude.
Well, there's a file, Sunrise Odintseva.
Does it mean anything to you?
It's not an FSB operation.
Well, the FSB's a big place.
If there was a project called Sunrise Odintseva, I'd know.
Odintsevo is southern Moscow. There's nothing much there.
You have anything?
Just some pictures.
It's just photos of Grushin's army platoon.
Yeah, Afghan. The war.
Whoa. Who is that? You recognize him?
Komarov. So they're all friends.
Or acquaintances. You can't jump to conclusions.
There. Zoom in there. Can you read that?
Oh, this was a photo in Grushin's house. It's an army nickname. Muchit, it means liquidator.
The man who hired Dolgonosov. What? In the bar, they told me the man who hired Dolgonosov was named Mochit.
Papa, I think you all need to see this. This was on the hard drive.
Manifesto for a new Russia.
Somebody has tried to delete it in
July.
The author is in Grushin. It says IAK.
Igor Alexeyevich Komarov. So this is his new Russia. Mass murder is a tool of economics. We have to get this to Sir Nigel.
In today's news out of Russia, with less than 48 hours remaining before the upcoming Russian presidential election, outgoing President Cherkasov has finally bowed to world pressure and allowed members of the International Health Organization to tour the infected areas. The cause of this outbreak has been a source of varied speculation. Is this a terrorist attack, or, as some theorists suggest, a bold attempt to sway upcoming elections?
Остановите машину! Открой шлагбаум. Проезжай.
Excuse me. Dr. Yakovleva?
Are you from World Health?
Yes, ma'am. John Cromwell.
About time you got here.
Oh, we've gotten a little resistance from your government, Doctor. Seems they don't want the world to know about this. So, can you fill me in?
This is something we've never encountered.
How does it present?
Severe spiking fevers followed by hemorrhaging and death.
Airborne, waterborne, what?
We don't know. But if I didn't know better, I'd say it was in the family of Ebola.
What? Ebola?
And yet it's strange. The outbreak is only among the Muslim children. The people at Komarov Chemicals seem to think it might be something from their lab.
Wait a second. You trying to tell me that these children were infected on purpose?
That will be difficult to prove, but yes, it's possible. In the meantime, we quarantine, isolate, let the disease run its course.
Which means?
About 70% of this town will die within the next few days. And unless something miraculous occurs, there's nothing we can do to stop it. There, sir.
Yes?
Thank you for taking the time, General.
You have something to say?
Sir, I am in possession of a top-secret document that outlines the plans for the destruction of the Russian nation. A document that was written by Igor Komarov.
You are going to ask me to destroy a man's reputation because you have information. Oh, my friend, excuse me.
Sir, it's the truth.
I'm sorry, you must understand the General is a man of great principles.
Excuse me. General Nikolaev, I'm asking for Russia. Just 5 minutes of your time. You've heard about Shadrova. It's predominantly a Muslim village. General, this is his first step in ethnic cleansing. You must speak out.
Anna!
Yes, sir?
Schedule a press conference. Right away.
Yes, General.
Word on Jason.
We've checked the hospitals, the morgues. Nothing.
Mr. Komarov. Excuse me, sir. I need a word with you.
Now?
It's urgent.
Excuse us.
Sir, Nikolaev has called for a press conference. My moles inside his organization tell me he has new evidence to discredit you.
He knows about the virus?
Yes, he does. But I prepared a quick statement. First of all, you have to tell the Russian people that you had nothing to do with the break-in, etc., 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 and that you are cooperating in full with official inquiries. Mr. Komarov, this is very serious. Your opponent is about to accuse you of conspiring to commit acts of terrorism against your own people. You have to respond.
Have faith, Mr. Blackledge. Have faith.
My fellow Russians, it is with a heavy heart that I bring you news today of what has happened to our brothers and sisters in the Caucasus Mountains. An as yet unidentified virus has caused terrible illness among the children and the people of the small town of Shodroda. Even as we speak, the entire area is under strict isolation. Doctors are doing their best, but so far many deaths have occurred, and many more are expected. So it is with extreme sadness that I have to tell you that I have evidence which I have seen with my own eyes, which link candidate Igor Komarov with the creation and maintenance of the virus which has infected the people of Stobroda. And I therefore hold him entirely responsible.
Wait, please. Wait.
Are you going to make a statement, sir?
I would ask that the Russian people withhold their judgment until they know the whole truth.
Is it true about the virus?
As you all know, little more than a month ago, terrorists bombed a chemical facility belonging to Komarov Industries. After an intensive investigation by the FSB, we determined that a deadly and highly communicable virus had been stolen from that facility. That virus was subsequently released in the town of Shodoroda.
Do you know who's responsible?
Our investigators have already arrested a number of Russian liberation terrorists who are responsible for releasing the virus. As you also know, the information coming out of Shodoroda was very grim. Thousands were predicted to die, but I'm happy to announce there is a ray of hope. And that ray of hope is Igor Komarov.
Fellow Russians, my friends, of utmost importance to Komarov Industries has always been the safety of the Russian people. When we agreed to be a repository for this deadly strain of virus, we also deemed it necessary to have treatments and vaccines available in the unlikely event of an outbreak. Now, the unthinkable has happened. But it gives me great pleasure. It gives me great pleasure today to be able to announce that my scientists have been most productive. At considerable expense, we are able to donate a supply of vaccine adequate to vaccinate every person in the town of Shodoroda and within a 30-kilometer radius. This will stop the spread of the virus and save thousands of lives.
How did this happen?
Mr. Komarov, has the International Health Organization been made aware of this?
It has all been confirmed. And there are spokespeople from the International Health Authority coming, and they will answer all your questions. Let me just say that I, for one, am grateful to the hard-working people of Komarov Industries. And I am pleased that we were here today for the Russian people, just as I will be when I am elected president. Thank you. God bless you all, and may peace reign over Russia.
In what has been heralded as the largest turnout ever for a Russian presidential election, exit polls are showing that the heroic efforts by Igor Komarov to stop the spread of a deadly virus in Dagestan has garnered him an overwhelming victory. Queues formed for hours as voters waited to cast their ballots. Even in the outlying areas where he trailed throughout the entire campaign, Komarov's support surged. In just 2 days, he has transformed his image from that of an aloof oligarch out of touch with the needs of the Russian people to that of an icon, a hero for all of Russia. General Nikolaev is expected to concede defeat within the hour.
The man is more dangerous than ever, and now he'll have the military at his command and the entire apparatus of the government. Sir Nigel, I need support.
Unfortunately, I can't give it. Everything's changed. The election has put things in a whole new light. Komarov is a hero to his country now, and, well, unfortunately, he's a hero to the West as well, and for me to get any support through legitimate channels would be impossible.
What about the manifesto?
Frankly, I doubt if they believe it. I'm sorry to have to say this, Jason, but there's an Aeroflot flight tomorrow morning leaving for Munich, changing for Madrid. I want you on it.
Why?
I need to rethink. Maybe over time I can build some kind of coalition of the international community.
It is genocide, sir.
Yes, I know how you feel, Jason, but there is nothing I can do about it. Thank you for your hard work. Your flight leaves at 8:15. I'll be in touch.
You've already agreed, haven't you? You've agreed to leave.
Well, it was never your battle in the first place. We're only Russians.
It's easy for you to walk away. It must be easy. Is it?
I'll be getting Elena an exit visa. I could get you one.
This is our home. Mine and Elena's. Maybe you can turn your back, but we can't.
Your payment for a job well done, Mr. Blackledge.
There's an extra... There are 2 extra zeros.
I'm a man who likes to express his gratitude.
Mr. President, would you mind if I ask you a question?
Not at all.
Everything seems to have worked out extremely well. The outbreak in the town in Dagestan, your company's sending in a team of scientists who just happen to be working on a treatment for that very virus, all just days before the election. Couldn't have worked out better.
I'm a very fortunate man, Mr. Blackledge. And so are you. Success on your next campaign.
I don't know what to say.
Keep it that way.
Mr. President, Mr. Cherkasov, on line 2.
Mr. President. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you. I am honored.
You're still here?
Looks that way.
У вас одно сообщение. Первое сообщение.
Elena, I want you to listen very carefully. It won't be safe anymore for you to stay at home. I want you to go to Victor's and use the safe room. Now remember that he can help you with anything you need, sweetheart. And you may not hear from me for a few days, about, I don't know, maybe more. I'm sorry, sweetheart, but this is just something that I've got to do. Now, if you need me or Sonia, you just remember the picture of us. You know, the one you kept all those years. And one more thing. As soon as you've heard this message, destroy the tape, okay, sweetheart? And I love you.
Good, good, good. Here you go. Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
Mr. Blackledge.
Yes?
May I have a word with you?
Who are you?
FSB Moscow.
We just have a couple of questions for you.
I'd like to see some identification.
Don't worry, you'll make your next flight.
I helped the guy get elected, all right? That's all I did. Other than that, I don't know anything about anything.
What about a man named Oganosov?
Never heard of him.
Vladimir Tonkin, Andrei Kostinov. They were killed?
I don't know anything about any killings. Listen, guys, I'm a political hack, all right? That's what I do. I did my job, the guy paid me, and that's it.
Like a good capitalist, huh? Take the money and look the other way.
Do the words sunrise and Ondinsivo mean anything to you?
No.
I wouldn't lie right now if I were you.
Listen to me. If you are lying, there is no lawyer in the world powerful enough to protect you.
I did hear him mention something about a place, Odinstava. It's a chemical facility somewhere outside of Moscow. It's very hush-hush. It has something to do with something, and if you ask me, I think it had something to do with the outbreak.
How about Sunrise?
Well, now that's his thing, isn't it? Sunrise. But I think it's part of a covert operation. Isn't that what they do? Name all those things, operation this, operation that, like some damn TV show? And there is this guy, this doctor. His name is Van Noos or Van Loos, something like that. It's not Russian. That's all I know, I swear. That is all I know.
All right, you can go.
Really?
Really?
If he knows I talked to you guys, he'll kill me.
Well, it's a good thing you're leaving the country now, isn't it?
Airport, please. Take me to the airport.
So what do you think?
It looks abandoned.
Pretty well armed security guards, though.
May I help you?
Hello, my name is Dr. Mikhail Surenko, Colonel 5th Directorate Zagorsk. My assistant, Vanya Vasilieva.
All right, let me check the list.
Excuse me? My meeting was for 8 o'clock. Train from Moscow was late. As we all know, Dr. Van Loos is not a patient man, so if you don't mind...
The doctor is not here yet.
Good. Then you'll not be in trouble for making me late.
You know where you're going?
Ah, of course. I'm here every month. Please?
Будет сделано.
Добрый день.
Извините, пожалуйста.
Straight ahead. God.
Is that the virus?
No, it's all vaccine.
What?
Rust and smallpox, anthrax. There's enough for an army, but there's not supposed to be any.
Здравствуйте, доктор.
Скорее, опаздываем.
Открой ворота. Это доктор Ван Рус. Проезжай, проезжай. Давай, давай. Доктор Ван Рус.
He's here.
program booted up. Just do it. Do it now.
Doctor,
do it. Yeah. Sonia, look at this. You've got the different groupings. Muslims, Chechens, Armenians.
It's an ethnic breakdown.
And the map of where they're sending the virus.
This is Camaros trouble spots.
Smallpox, anthrax, Reston 81. It's not just Ebola.
There are different strains.
Each genetically engineered to target specific races.
At sunrise, that's his speech. Rays spreading across Russia.
Don't move!
Hello, Jason.
Jordan, what do you...
Muhammad wouldn't come to the mountain, so the mountain came to Muhammad. Let's go, Jason.
Go! Как он сюда попал? Третий. Они во дворе. Поднимаются по лестнице. Давай, быстрее!
Move it!
Got him!
Go!
Close down. Stay with me.
Sonia, down! Move! Go!
Как он сюда попал?
Give it up, Jason. We know everything. Where you been, what you discovered. Go ahead, let's go.
Komarov is gonna spread that virus. What he did to those children is only the beginning.
Russia's been going through some tough times. Violence in Chechnya, Tbilisi. Maybe it's time for a little spring cleaning.
Jordan, do you realize that if this stuff gets out, there is no stopping it?
Don't be so dramatic.
At least Komarov is crazy enough to believe in what he's doing. But you, what are you doing this for, Jordan?
My fee's a drop in the bucket. Anyway, he's not the enemy. In case you haven't heard, he's America's ally.
How many more children will die because of your greed?
Speaking of children, We just recently heard about Elena. Ah, such a lovely name. Did you choose that?
Nigel.
We know about Elena. Go. Go.
Elena? Victor?
I don't know if you got the message.
We'll meet at the statue.
She's with friends. Please, don't shoot. Are you her father?
Where is she?
She asked me to give you this. I think it's...
Just tell me where.
I told you she's with friends. Please, come down.
Are you okay? Did you cut your hand? On the door?
What? How did you...
Good job.
Thank you. Sonia!
Thank God you're all right.
I've been staying with friends. Where is my father?
Ah, Miss Astrova.
They've got Jason.
I know. So, tell me everything you know.
Ondisivo is a secret facility making biological weapons. Smallpox, anthrax, Ebola. But they're genetically engineered to target specific minority groups. That's what Sunrise in Russia is. He's sending bioweapons to all corners of Russia, maybe outside of Russia. He has warehouses full of vaccines to sell to whoever he chooses, and the rest he lets die.
Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. How are these weapons delivered?
By hand, like Shodroda, by Grishin's men.
When?
Now, we have a list, but...
Well, that doesn't matter. You breached his security. He'll change those targets.
Yeah.
Now, listen to me. I can send in people, but there's nothing I can do without exact coordinates. Is there any way that you can find these agents?
I don't know. Oh, yes, cell phones.
What?
They're FSB. They've got GPS locators in their phones. That's how he's tracking them.
You've still got yours?
No.
Get me one. I can decode it. Find the rest. Sonia, I'll be waiting.
I'll be in touch. I'm gonna need your help.
Get me the Prime Minister.
sent you? Who do you work for? What have you told them? Tell me.
Anatoly, don't bother. Plans have changed. Whatever he knows is obsolete now. Give me a moment with him. Tell the good doctor to come down here. It's been a long time. Remember the Cold War? Things were so much more simple then. And you truly knew who your enemies were.
I have an idea.
I hope you have. Is it my policies that offend you? Or is this about revenge? Rudenko, Medvedev, and of course, Sergei Akopov. You were there for that one, weren't you, Jason? It gave me great satisfaction to kill that traitor. And I've since, of course, added to the list. But what is particularly gratifying to me is watching you suffer. You, Jason Monk, the worst enemy my country could ever have.
No, it's you, Komarov. With your final solution, your slave camps, your mass exterminations.
Well, yes. I do have great plans for my country. To eliminate undesirables, to strengthen our economy, our defense, our security, and to restore our national pride. I believe in this. What do you believe in, Jason? Democracy? That hollow slogan that spreads chaos. I will bring order out of chaos. Purity out of filth. And once again, Mother Russia will stand strong against all threats. Any threat, internal or external, I will gladly eliminate.
Where have I heard this before?
This time, believe it.
Yes, Mr. President?
You have given the order?
Yes, sir. They're underway.
Secondary targets?
Yes, sir.
Good. I didn't expect the program to start so soon. I must admit you put me on a bit of a spot. But still, even if you know the coordinates of my messengers, that information is useless now. So the program will begin.
And you will blame it on terrorists.
Of course. You may have won the Cold War, Jason. But the real battle has just begun.
Go to hell.
You first.
Mr. President.
I don't know if you've heard the news, but my inauguration has been rescheduled. I must not be late. I would invite you along, but I think you will not be able to attend. Due to illness, I think.
You okay?
so far?
He's triad ahead of you. 12 o'clock. He's below you somewhere.
Where?
2 o'clock, I think another floor down.
I see him.
Drop it! Put it down, Doctor!
When you get down! Get up. They started the operation.
I know.
They're going for secondary targets. Wait. Go. You first.
Wait!
Souvenir for Nigel.
I should have known. A traitor just like your father.
This way.
As President of the Russian Federation, I pledge to protect and respect the rights and liberties of every citizen, to protect and observe the Constitution of the Russian Federation, to protect the sovereignty, independence, security, and integrity of the Russian Federation, and to serve the people faithfully. In performing my duties as President of the Russian Federation, I pledge to respect and protect the rights of every citizen.
In shocking news out of Moscow today, Secret Service agents acting on information from an unnamed source have made a number of arrests inside Russian territory. According to reports, a plot has been uncovered to unleash biological weapons among dozens of Russia's ethnic minorities. Incredibly, this plot may have originated within the offices of newly elected Russian President Igor Kamarov. BNN has learned that the operation, known simply as Operation Sunrise, sought to create widespread panic. President Kamarov, blaming terrorists for the outbreak, would then profit by selling his vaccines, meanwhile secretly targeting various ethnic and religious minorities who would be denied treatment in a carefully planned program of governmental genocide. At this late hour, an emergency session of the Duma has been called to consider crafting a bill of impeachment.
I am your president! How dare you defy me?
Martial law, Mr. President.
Order it! I will not tolerate disobedience! Order it!
My fellow Russians, we all know how difficult the events of the last few days have been. For me, they have been extremely painful, as I have been unjustly accused of the most outrageous of crimes. I assure you, I am utterly innocent of these baseless charges. But there is a genuine threat facing our nation. These terrorists who have unleashed biological weapons on our innocent citizens must be found and punished. We believe that these terrorists are responsible for the assassination of FSB Director Anatoly Grishin and other attacks on government officials. Because of this imminent threat to our freedom, I regret to say I have no choice but to institute martial law effective immediately. Thank you, and God bless our nation.
For 2 days, Moscow has been in a state of shock. All over Russia, demonstrators have taken to the streets as the demand for the resignation of Igor Komarov has grown rapidly. Organizers have planned a massive demonstration for this afternoon amid rumors that the Duma may actually issue a warrant for Komarov's arrest. Meanwhile, at this hour, the whereabouts of Igor Komarov remain unknown.
I never thought I would live to see this day again. So what's to be done?
You can stop this.
How? I'm no one. The Russian people have already voiced their opinion of me. I'm no longer a presidential candidate.
Let me ask you one question. When Boris Yeltsin asked you to command the attack on Chechnya, rumor has it that you said I command soldiers, not butchers. Is that true?
So?
Is it true?
Yes.
Why did you say it?
I do not believe in genocide.
You have read Komarov's manifesto. You know what's coming. General, all nations need a symbol. One that can unite them across the barriers of language and clan. You are that symbol. You are that icon.
General, you've always been a hero to us. Don't turn your back on Russia now.
Must be seized immediately. Secure the television stations and the radio stations. Where is the mechanized infantry?
At Ryazan. I can have it all in 10 minutes.
Do it.
Прикажите дивизии окружить территорию.
to them, Mr. President. They'll listen to you.
Order your soldiers to fire into the crowd.
I will not.
Order it!
No.
Get out! Disperse them! Disperse them! Shoot! Go down! Make them shoot! Shoot! Go! Get down there! Shoot, I tell you! I am your president! I order you to fire! Fire! I order you to fire! I am your president! Fire!
Hold your fire! In the name of Mother Russia. In the name of all the Russian people, I command you to lower your weapons.
I am your president! Fire! I order you to fire!
Lower your weapons.
Costa! Vite!
That's enough, Igor.
Mr. Monk, this is your doing.
I think you had a hand in it.
You are the virus. You are the one that will destroy my people.
Which people? There they are. Speak to them. What are you afraid of?
I'm afraid of nothing!
Do you mind if I ask you something? Why did you try to pull me out? Did you really have a flight out of Moscow for me?
Good heavens, no. But you see, I knew you'd want the support I promised, and I just couldn't give it. Of course, I knew you'd never go. But it got you going a bit, didn't it?
So I certainly hope you like your egg scrambled, do you?
No, not really, Dad.
That's too bad, because that's the only way I know how to make them.
Oh.
Now, if you're coming over here to complain, don't even. You take what you get. You've been here 5 minutes and you're already ignoring.
Maybe you should bring another plate.
Eleanor, why didn't you show me this new, fisherman's thing of your father's?
It's called a rod and reel.
Exactly.
About time you showed up.
Good flight?
Not bad.
Splendid.
Hello?
Hello. Fatherhood suits you.
I'm trying. She's beautiful, though.
Yeah. So I have a proposition for you.
You do?
Yeah. As you may know, interim President Nikolaev appointed me director of the FSB.
Sir Nigel told me. Congratulations.
Thank you. That's why I'm here.
Looking for a suspect?
Oh, I'm looking for a few good men. What do you say, Jason? Come work for me.
Work for you?
Yeah.
Aren't I an enemy of Russia?
Ah, that's ancient history. I think we can look past that.
So what would the FSB's vacation plan be?
Oh, it's not bad. And actually, I was considering taking a vacation myself. Know where I can hire a good fishing boat?
Just so happens I do.